Okay, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakha Kodash. Double honors to our venerable apostles and others of great millstone who rule well. And peace and blessings to the Lord's elect, the house of David. There's a brother Aharon coming back at you with another lesson. Lord willing to be edifying and uplifting unto the elect. All right, and today is, I believe, September 8th, 2020, the year where we hasten unto the coming of our Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. All right, I have this little article here that I want to go into, all right, because this is all part of the job of a prophet, okay? We have nothing better to do, all right, because this is the only thing that you can do. This is really the best thing you can do, okay? Adhering to what the Lord's told his men to do, which is what? To give warning, okay, of what is ahead, what is coming to this earth, okay? And lately we've been seeing a lot of natural disasters, okay, which we understand that Esau is using his his blessing, his science, and so on and so forth. But ultimately is Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai that's given his signs, all right, that this is truly the end. Okay, now you go into mainstream media. Even mainstream media is admitting, all right, to certain things that they've been hiding for so damn long. Okay. Prime example will be this. It says world food prices jump in August in near decade high. Okay, and this happened in August last month. So that means that it's going to be a trend that's going to continue. So see, now what we're going to start seeing is the effects of all these months where you had a lot of shortages. It's all finally about to build up and pile up to this very moment. Okay. So now throughout the months from here on now, you're going to have a lot of prices going up. Okay. That's what they call inflation. All right. And so on and so forth, man. All right. So, hey, let's read. It says central banks and mainstream media continue to peddle the notion that soaring food inflation is temporary and the average Joe and Jane should not worry about it. But in a new report via the Rome-based Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, all right, Rome-based, because they're showing you that America is Rome all over again, okay? So Rome-based Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, global food prices are on the rise once again and back to near decade highs. That's not a good thing. Okay, and that is all part of the prophecies. That's all part of the signs that Yahweh Shai gave us, man. Okay, get that real quick. All right, it's a book of Mark chapter 13. Okay, let's start off at verse 7. It says, "And when ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, be ye not troubled, for such things must needs be. But the end shall not be yet." Okay, so we've been hearing about, wars and rumors of wars for so long. All right, you've been hearing Russia in the news. Okay, North Korea, when Trump was in power, you heard a lot about North Korea and what kind of missiles they have and all these different things. Okay, so we've been hearing about these things, and that's all signaling the end, because remember, the Lord always shows you signs. He's going to send his prophets out there who are going to give you warning, and then you're also going to see the signs. And it takes time. It takes time. Look at Noah. When Noah was building the ark, it took time. You see, because the Lord will always be patient. Hey, scriptures say what? He's long suffering. Okay, so he's going to be patient. He's going to deal with you. That way you have no excuse when the hell comes. Okay, verse 8, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be earthquakes in diverse places. And there shall be famines and troubles. These are the beginnings of sorrows." Okay, so you got to understand that we're now entering into the hell. Okay, the real Jacob's trouble that we've been warning you about for so long. Okay, this is now the time, the beginnings, all right, of sorrows. Okay, and those prophecies of earthquakes, okay, in diverse places are happening. I believe yesterday or today, all right, there was a 7.1 or 7.0 magnitude earthquake that hit Mexico. Okay, last month you had Haiti. get hit with I believe it was an 8.0 or 8.1 earthquake. Okay. And you know, I was kind of intrigued, so I kind of I went on Google and I typed up, you know, I looked up you know, earthquakes so far in 2021, and this is what I seen. This is what I saw. Okay, this was today. All right, the 8th. So it was today. Acapulco, Mexico, 7.0 earthquake. Okay, this was the 31st, a few days ago. Kermadec Islands, New Zealand. So you see, we go from Mexico to New Zealand. All right, we got South Sandwich Island region. I don't know where that is. All right, but that happened on the 22nd, 7.1. You see, you go 7.0, 6.3, 7.1. These are heavy. Okay. South Sandwich Islands again. You had on the 22nd, same day, you had a 7.1 and you had a 6.8. All right. You had it says Port Orrery. Okay, this one here 6.9. All right, South Sandwich Island regions again 6.9. All right. Haiti 5.8. This was on the 15th of last month. Haiti again the 14th. So the 14th and the 15th back-to-back days, they had some type of earthquakes. 7.2. These are heavy earthquakes, man. All right, then we go from Haiti to Alaska, and then right back to the Sandwich Island regions again. And then the Philippines, 7.1. Maryland, 2.1. That's right here in America. Peru, South America, 6.2. Alaska, Northwestern America, U.S., the continent of North America, 8.2. Indonesia, 6.3. Philippines, 6.7. Panama, 6.7. Okay? So look at all these different, this is exactly what the Lord said would happen. Earthquakes in diverse places. So we just mentioned so many different places. Almost damn near every continent has been getting rocked with earthquakes. Okay? And there shall be famines. Famines have been happening since 2017. Argentina, okay, 2018, 2019. You've been having countries that have been going through famines, man. Okay, and those are all signs, but now it's happening in your day-to-day lives. The famines have finally reached the shores of America, if you will. Okay? And it says troubles. And a lot of people are going through troubles, man. Having to subject yourself onto a clinical trial of Vanessa, which really hasn't gone through the proper tests to even be considered a vaccine. Okay, so it's literally called it should be considered, it should and is, all right, it should be called, because what it is, an injection. Okay, a lethal injection, if you will, because it's meant to kill people. That's what it's created for. Okay, but now you got YouTube and all these different, that's misinformation, that's going against the guidelines and all this bullshit. When you bring out the truth, that's what they say. Okay. So these are all troubles, but it's going to get intensified. A lot of people have lost their jobs. Either they quit, or because of these new mandates, they went with it, they got fired. That's all part of troubles, man. Okay? But Yahushua said these are the beginning of sorrow. So we're now about to kick into the next gear. Okay? But those of us who are in the know, all right, in this truth, we have to keep our faith in the Lord, man. Going through these moments that we're about to go into, okay, they're talking about what food prices are on the rise, all right, at near decade highs, and we're seeing it. You go to the grocery store, you try to get some fresh produce, and guess what? You spending damn near $60 for a few items, $100, and you're like, damn, you know. Anyway, it says FAO released a statement Thursday that detailed after 2 consecutive months of declines, world food prices in August jumped due to solid gains in sugar, vegetable oils, and cereals. Okay, FAO's food price index, which follows international prices of global traded food commodities, averaged 127.4 points in August, up 3.9 points, which is 3.1% from July, and 31.5 points, which is 32.9% from the same period last year. Okay, now you notice these numbers might seem very small, But on the grand scheme, all right, when you look at it from a macro perspective, it makes a huge difference. It affects a lot of people. Okay, 1 million people does not even make 1% of the global population. So if 1%, 1 million is not even 1%. Imagine how many people were to be affected if 1% was to happen. 1% of people were to go a week without food. Think about that. 1% of the global population, that means over 1 million people will suffer. 1 million, that's a lot of people, man. So these numbers might seem very small, all right, but when you really look at it on the grand scale, okay, it affects a lot of people. Okay, because you could say, oh, 1% of American population, and then you could also say 1% of the global population. Obviously, 1% of the American population is going to be smaller than the 1% of the global population. All right, so in context and in comparison, you have different numbers. But it's still going to be significantly high because this thing is all global. Okay, this coming food crisis is not just here in America, it's global. So everything is going to be scaled and measured according to the global standard. Okay, so continue, says in August, the most significant driver of food prices was FAO's sugar price index, which jumped 9.6% from July due to frost damage to crops in Brazil, the world's largest sugar exporter. So now you're going to start seeing the effects of the things that happened last year. Okay, and even earlier this year. Okay, the whole thing that happened in the Panama Canal. All right, that's gonna have ripple effects. Okay, last year when they had farmers dumping out milk and killing off chicken and all these different animals, Tyson and all that, because they were saying, oh, COVID outbreak cases. That's gonna also play a role. So everything is gonna fall back a year. Okay. So now you better start feeling the effects of the things that were happening last year and in 2019. All right. It says readers may recall in Frostbite's Brazilian sugar crop as prices zoom higher. We noted multiple weather disasters in Brazil severely damaged the sugar crop. Okay, and that happened even here in America, the Midwest. Okay, farmers were talking about natural disasters that was, causing them not to be able to grow their crops. All right, that's all done by design, man. Look, man, the Lord is literally tactically taking this place out. If you don't think America is done, but you're in for a rude awakening. Okay, this is all the beginning of the end for this empire. This is it. Okay, this is finished. All right. Yo, it says the second largest jump in the basket was the FAO vegetable oil price index, which rose blah 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 blah. Okay, so now you get the point. All right, let's read this. It says a combination of global droughts, volatile weather, labor shortages, and supply chain disruptions persisting from C-19, among others, have contributed to the rapid rise in food prices over the last year. So there's basically what they're saying is we're in a food crisis. Okay, we are in a food crisis because a crisis is the moment where you have your decisive moment, whether you're gonna make it or you're not gonna make it. And right now we're at the moment where it's looking, all projections are showing that they're not gonna make it. All right, we're headed to a food crisis, and that's the famine. All right. Okay, it says heading into fall, we're heading into fall. Soaring food inflation shows no signs of abating and may worsen. So expect gas prices to go up, and then expect the food prices to go really, really high. Okay? So it's going to worsen. They may cause socio-economic turmoil in emerging market economies, mainly because people in those countries allocate more of their daily budgets to food. And this is going to cause the Second Ezra, the 16th chapter, okay, to be fulfilled. Oh, actually, and also Second Ezra, the 15th chapter, to also be fulfilled, where people are going to be what? A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, okay? For what? For lack of bread and for great tribulation. So this is all going to lead to that. You see, we're telling you the prophecies, and we're telling you what's going to happen to get to those prophecies. So you should be taking those because that's the warning. Okay? Sokjen's Albert Edwards first warned about soaring food inflation last December ahead of the big rally in food prices in a note that we titled "Why Albert Edwards is Starting to Panic About Soaring Food Prices." You see? He said a driver of food inflation has been the global central bank's ultra-loose monetary policy and warns about uprisings in underdeveloped countries. You hear that? Uprisings. That's a prophecy of 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. There shall be sedition among men, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes. Okay? So this is going to lead to people doing things like that, man. Okay? The first world countries like the US and Europe, surging food inflation hasn't become a big deal yet for consumers, but may start to irritate the working poor this fall when supermarket prices are expected to jump. So there you go. All right. So, hey, you know, start prepping, you know, spiritually, of course, start prepping, building up your faith, because you can't get enough items that's going to last you for however long. Okay. Because right now, people don't really have enough money to go purchase items that's going to last for however long. You see what I'm saying? So you got to keep your faith in the Lord. All right? Because what if you run out of whatever you got? Then what? The trouble is still here. You see? So prepare your mind spiritually that you can depend on the Lord, man. Because he's going to provide for you whether there's food or not. Whether there's grocery store, fresh produce or not. The Lord is still going to provide for his elect. All right. So it says food inflation globally has been ultra low for the last few decades. Now food prices are soaring, and this could be an indication once the Federal Reserve begins tapering that bond yields will only go up. See? So hey, this is it, man. This is all part of prophecy. These are what the Lord told us to watch out for. Because now we're about to kick into a different gear. Okay? We're about to kick into a different gear, man. So, hey, that's all I wanted to bring out. All right, that we are indeed living in the last days, man. You could feel it. Okay, you could feel it. And these devils know that they don't have that much time. So expect to see a lot more mandates. Expect to see a lot more disasters. And expect, all right, as we approach this so-called 20th anniversary of this 9/11 thing, expect to see some things happen that we know, all right, who are in the know, we know where that's going to be coming from and what they're going to be tying into that to lead to certain things. It's all going to what? It's all going to hasten unto prophecy. All right. So keep an eye out. All right. Watch as well as pray. Okay. Lord willing, you've been edified. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, L'chakodash, the water Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. And until next time, Shalom.